Society has a weird obsession with raw computing power. We assume being smart requires a photographic memory, Ivy League degrees, or the ability to solve complex equations on sight. But academic processing power often fails to prevent the most common forms of failure. All the brain power in the world is useless when stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic, running late, and losing composure over a situation you cannot control. The dividing line between highly intelligent people and everyone else comes down to a specific set of processing skills. It is less about the volume of facts they know, and more about how they regulate their internal stress when things go wrong. This is a Stoic operating system. It relies on 5 specific, learnable thinking habits that allow anyone to navigate a high-anxiety environment without needing to be a born genius. Adopting these mental filters shifts you from being a reactive passenger to your circumstances into the most composed, capable person in the room. The first place to apply this system is in our conversations. When a disagreement breaks out, the typical reaction is to let the ego take over and turn it into a verbal boxing match, throwing facts out just to prove the other person wrong. Smart thinkers do the opposite. They drop the need to be right. Rather than setting traps or dropping counter-arguments, they ask genuine questions. A simple, "Help me understand why you think that," shifts the dynamic from a battle into a collaboration. To pull that off, you have to use a tool most of us are terrified of: awkward silence. Most people rush to fill quiet moments with the very first thought that pops into their heads, often saying something they later regret. Here is the mechanic. The next time someone asks you a question, count to 3 in your head before your lips part. This slight delay stops the panic response and gives your brain the necessary space to formulate a deliberate, high-quality answer. By prioritizing curious learning over a fragile ego and using silence as a buffer, the tension in a room loses its fuel. The defensive walls come down, and you naturally command respect by being the most composed person in the conversation. Managing other people is a start, but the ultimate test of this framework is internal. It happens when you face a sudden, sharp emotional trigger, like a direct insult or an unexpected bill. This timeline shows an emotional reaction. It starts with a spike, the trigger. The gap following is the pause. Usually it's non-existent, causing chaotic reactions. Asking, "Does this matter?" stretches that gap. Expanding this space neutralizes the chaos, leaving a stable, calculated response. Snapping back blindly might feel like power in the moment, but it is actually a surrender of your agency. Choosing exactly how to respond takes significantly more discipline. True interpersonal power is never held by the loudest person. It is held by the one who maintains total authority over their own emotional gap. This identical logic scales up to massive life obstacles. When you fail a major exam or face a harsh career rejection, it is easy to assume your entire trajectory is collapsing. This mosaic shows the power of zooming out. Instead of hyperfixating on one chaotic puzzle piece, intelligent thinkers look at the top-down structure. They actively search for broader patterns. Taking this macro view interrupts the panic cycle. You stop seeing an isolated disaster and start seeing a mechanical puzzle. And puzzles have solutions. To solve that puzzle, you have to apply a concept known as the dichotomy of control. It is a filter for how you allocate your mental energy. This means dividing the world into 2 buckets. You take the uncontrollable variables, like the economy, the weather, your boss's mood, and you ignore them. You then pour 100% of your bandwidth into the only things you actually control: your actions, your honesty, and your effort. Narrowing your focus exclusively to your own inputs removes the exhaustion of worrying. It preserves your cognitive bandwidth for the actions that actually change your situation, even when the world around you is entirely unpredictable. Real intelligence is not an innate gift of education. It is the conscious, daily choice to favor a response over a blind reaction. But there is a catch. If you try to adopt all 5 of these habits by tomorrow morning, you will overload your brain and likely fail. Instead, take this challenge. Pick exactly one of these 5 habits. Commit to it entirely for the next 7 days, and watch how it shifts your default reactions. If this breakdown helped you see things differently, give the video a thumbs up. It signals the algorithm to surface these tools to others. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join a community dedicated to continuous cognitive growth. Before you leave, drop a comment below and tell me exactly which habit you are implementing first. I read every single one, and it is the best way to cement your commitment before the video ends. Thanks for watching.